Punk could have been great. Punk could have been one of the best records in Young Thug's discography. I think, given the first leg, that's kind of what it was setting itself up for. But then I guess at a certain point, this record just gets tired of doing that and gives up entirely on that direction and just sounding good in general. I'm feeling a decent 3 on this one. Unfortunately, despite the fact that Thugger is one of the most unique and innovative voices in this auto-crooner trap ballad field, this is a painfully average record in this particular style, which in a weird way I think says a lot about the state of this trend. I'm feeling a strong 4 to a light 5 on this thing. Spacey, trap-flavored production, a lot of which is really good, but it's not backing a good song. So, we have just a good piece of an equation that's not adding up with anything that significant. I'm feeling a strong 4 to a light 5 on this thing.
Sort of terrible and borderline hilarious. Again, song structures, instrumental palette, while it is poppier, it is sweeter in the grander scheme of things. It's kind of bad. I mean, nothing really to write home about outside of, hey, Thugger's doing something a little bit different. But once the novelty of that wears off, it's not really that refreshing.
I'm feeling a strong 4 to a light 5. Done on this thing. Uninspired, just so blueprint Young Thug project. It's okay while it's on, but there's really no reason to return to it, especially when around the corner, he's just going to drop another project that sounds exactly like this. I'm feeling a strong 4 to a light 5 on this thing. It's just so deja vu at this point. Young Thug is just not really taking enough risks or putting together enough coherent songs to really justify 8 more tracks of material, 10 more tracks of material, 18 more tracks of material. TI or check or numbers. But again, Young Thug, I think, has kind of exposed himself on this album as just, a one-trick pony. If he's going to come out with another project in the future, he's going to have to offer more ideas and angles than this. And, maybe even a bigger, more explosive song that might be up to the level of some of the catchier tracks on that Rich Gang mixtape. I'm feeling a strong 4 to a light 5 on this thing. It's not going to stop Young Stoner Life from coming out with an even more bloated project in 2 to 3 years, and I guess we'll see that when it happens. Feeling a light 5 on this one. Tran. Highlights. It's pretty underwhelming. I could see you being into it if you're a hardcore fan of each artist, or if you're looking for some very simple, vibey trap music to just put on that you're not going to think all that much about. Overall, I would say putting these guys together on a full length has been pretty fruitless. Far from a game changer. And the whole thing just kind of sounds like the musical equivalent to networking and just kind of sharing in shared audiences. It's mostly kind of listenable, but I'm indifferent toward a lot of it, and I wouldn't return to this thing outside of a couple tracks. I'm feeling a light to decent 5 on this thing. Tran. Skip, I will probably not give them much thought past this point, but even the worst spots on this record, they're still pretty listenable. And once more, I do think Thugger brought some of his best tracks in a while. So while I do think this project is a bit flabby, I wish it was tighter, it's still pretty solid. I'm feeling a light 7 on this one. To some better written songs, some better instrumentals, some more memorable hooks, or at least, just experiment a little bit. And while this album didn't do all of those things to the point where I'm head over heels for it, it did all of them just enough to keep me entertained for the majority of it. I'm feeling a light to decent 7 on this thing.